Hi, this is Michelle, and today I want to show you how you can do something within Word or PowerPoint or something like that and save it as an image so that you can use it somewhere else without having to worry about fonts. We use Blackboard for our websites, and we are finding that we cannot use just any font we want to use. We can only use what is already in Blackboard. So in this situation, we can add any font into a document, but then still upload the document into Blackboard, and it looks like we just created it inside of Blackboard. So I have, obviously, it's not an actual finished worksheet here. It's just enough to show you how this would work. But let's just say that I was creating a worksheet in PowerPoint, which, by the way, to me, that's the best way if you're going to use a lot of graphics or text boxes or anything like that. The best place to do that is in PowerPoint, because when you put things on a certain place on the page in PowerPoint, they stay where you put them. You don't have to worry about when you type something, everything jumps around in the wrong place. So that's one other little hint. But let's say that on this, since I have this superheroes theme going on here, I wanted to make my title fit that superheroes theme. So I wanted to create a title that uses a font I happen to have installed that is the Avengers font, because that's going to make it look all superhero-y. So this is a superhero worksheet. And this doesn't have to be a worksheet. This could be just any text you were trying to incorporate into something else that won't accept the fonts. So now it looks really cool. It looks all Avengers to go with these superheroes, but I would never be able to insert this into Blackboard because I don't have those fonts there. With PowerPoint, it's really easy. I go to the button at the top, and from here, I just go to Save As, and I'm going to click Save As. And when it pops up asking me how I want to save it, normally we just type a name. This is my superhero worksheet. We just type a name and we hit save. But in this case, we don't want to do that because that's going to save it as a PowerPoint. In this case, I actually want to save it as a PNG. And really, you could use most of these right here. But if you don't know which one to use, just go ahead and pick the PNG. So I'm going to save it as a PNG. Now I'm going to click save. And what that's going to do is it's going to save the whole thing just like it's a picture instead of text on the page. So at that point, the font won't matter anymore because it will just look like a picture. Now it's asking me, do I want to do every slide or only the current slide? Obviously, in the one I'm doing now, it doesn't matter. Both are going to be the same thing. But if I had more pages, if I said every slide, it will save every page as a different picture. So you'll end up with the same number of pictures that you have pages. If I only say the current slide, it's going to save just the one slide that I'm on. And like I said, in this case, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to pick the current slide. And it saved it where I told it to save it. So now I would go to wherever I wanted to insert this. In my case, I'm going to be using Blackboard right now. And in this case, I'm going to insert an image. And when I click the edit button, it allows me to select which file I want to use as an image. It was in Superhero Worksheet. So then I click the continue button. It actually is going to insert that image. I could change the size of it if I wanted to. I'm thinking 720 might be just a little too wide for our website. And then I had to scroll down because it wasn't showing to click insert image. Alternative text that's going to make me type this in. This is if someone is using a different kind of browser that it's for those who can't see. It will actually read the alternative text to them if they're using a browser that does that. So I'm just going to put here that it's my superhero worksheet also. And you can change these things, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to click save. And now when I go to the page and reload it, it shows that on the page, and notice it does have the Avengers font that I put because this whole thing is a graphic. Now I'm going to show you the same thing. I'm going to take it off so that I can do it again, because this time I'm going to show you in Word. It's just a little bit more complicated in Word just because we have to add an extra step. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a text box at the top. Now remember, this is Word, so it may start jumping around with me when I try to add more text to it. I'm going to make that font, I forgot to highlight it. I'm going to make that font be that Avengers font, and pretty big. Okay. And lucky for us, everything stayed in the right place with that particular one. So now in this case, if I go to save as, just like I did in PowerPoint, I have no option to save this as any kind of image. PowerPoint is designed to look at things as separate pages, and that's the reason it really lets us save things as images. Word is designed to look at a whole document as one thing, and it would be hard to save one whole document as a graphic if you had 100 pages in the document. So Word doesn't give us the option to save that as any sort of graphic, so we're not going to be able to do it that way. Instead, if you have this in your Windows, you're going to go to something called Snipping Tool, and we're just going to take a screenshot. So when the Snipping Tool window pops up, there are a lot of options that we could set inside of here too, but for now, just to get this done, we don't really have to set those options. I can just click New. When I click New, notice that the screen grays out and it's waiting for me. I have to hold down my left mouse button and drag over the part that I want to snip. And now I'm back in Snipping Tool, and notice I have a picture. I have a picture of the Word document in my Snipping Tool here. Oops, I didn't mean to write on it. Let's just erase what I wrote here. Okay. So I have a picture of my Word document inside the Snipping Tool. So now it's not as easy to cut and paste it in. So I'm still going to save as, and I'm going to save that picture as a PNG. That's still good. And I'm going to call it Superhero Worksheet 2. I'm going to go back to, and now the process is the same. It's just a different name. I'm going to go back to my page again, and I'm going to use an image. With the image, I'm going to select the same file that I just saved. I click Browse, and it was on the desktop this time, Superhero Worksheet 2, and Continue at the bottom. Again, I could change the size, but this time the size looks fine probably. So if I scroll down, I have Insert Image, and I do have to type an alternative text. I'm going to pick the same thing I just typed, and I save this part. Now I should have reloaded it, because now it's going to be exactly the same thing, except I believe the words were smaller. Yes. So now it has also, when I snipped, I got a little bit of that blue background. So that also lets you know that this is the Word document this time. So I'm including the Word document as an image, and that's how we used the fonts. Now, I have graphics on mine just to show you that that was possible, but you can do it this way even without any graphics. It doesn't matter that you're saving it as a picture, even if you had no graphics. So if I go back to my Word document and let's just take all of this off. And so let's just say that I wanted to type in, here's a font that I use a lot that I really like this font, and I just want to type some text so that I can. So again, when I get finished typing the text, okay, so I still have snipping tool open, so I just want to click new again. And this time when I click new, you know what? Actually, let me get rid of that because I just realized the cursor was blinking. So I'm going to have the cursor go down farther. So I'm going to go back to snipping tool. When I click new, I just need this part that has the text. I don't need the whole Word document. So I'm going to grab that part by left clicking on my mouse and holding down the button while I drag. When I let go of it, it copies that. Now, this looks like text, but it's not. It's an image, it's a picture. So again, I'm going to save this image. I'm just going to call it text image. I still want to save it as PNG. That's fine. And now when I go back to my page to edit it, this time I'm just going to edit and change the picture I have here. Upload image is correct. Browse text image is what I called it. I click the continue button. It uploads this image, insert image. And I'll save. And now you see that it looks like text, but it's really just a picture. It is in the image app. So now I'm going to go back to the web page and reload it again. And now you see it looks like I just typed text in Blackboard, but it is not text. It is actually an image. However, it's not in the same font that's in Blackboard. It's in the font that was from my computer. So that's just to show you that it doesn't have to be graphics on the page. Even though we're turning it into a graphic in the end, it can be just text on the page. So this is how you can get around being able to use your own fonts, whichever font you want to use that's on your computer, and still upload it into something that doesn't have those fonts.